I sit here June 29th, 2020 to let you know my anxiety has gotten the best of me. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Sam Spataro. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe, the like, and the notification bell. The subscribe button allows you to be part of this community, and the like button, well, that lets me know if you like my content. It also allows YouTube to pick up on algorithms that people are really liking the messages that I'm offering here. And the notification bell, well, that's gonna let you know the next time I do an awesome video. Okay, so this video might not be for everybody, but it is for those who suffer from anxiety. And 2020 has really created a lot of uncertainty around the world. Economies, viruses shut down, bankruptcies. I mean, it's wreaked havoc on a lot of people's mental health that I've talked to that you never think would. And so what I want to do is I want to share a little experience with you and a little bit of a story and a background. I pretty much have had anxiety most of my life. I didn't really know what it was. Up until about 8 years ago when my best friend died, and I remember being in a restaurant and I literally thought I was dying. My heart was racing, I couldn't breathe, my skin was hot, my mind was racing with crazy thoughts, and I actually ended up having my father drive me to the hospital to then find out after blood work and testing that I was fine. And so there was a little bit of time that kind of distance between that event and the next time when I was in Las Vegas, and the same thing happened, except it was like 10x the intensity. And when I came back, I met with my doctor and he asked me what was going on in my life, and I told him some things that had happened. He says, well, you're having anxiety and panic attacks. And so he gave me a bottle of anxiety pills and some antidepressants, and away I went. And I kind of tried to recap, how I got here in my life. And it's very easy to see once you understand what it is, what's happening to you, and you get a little bit of knowledge and background, and then you can kind of know what your options are from there. But traditionally, you're given pills and some therapy, which can work for a lot of people, but for the most part, a lot of people end up being on these things for the rest of their lives. It never really goes away. And so I've always been someone that likes to explore different alternatives, who likes to become more than his experiences. And I can remember one day vividly sitting in the backyard of my cousin's house when I was really struggling. Like, I could literally remember waking up every day for almost 2-3 years with anxiety and panic attacks and like a 50-pound weight on my chest. Because, well, one, I didn't really understand why it was happening, what was happening to me, and I didn't know or believe really that I thought I could get through this. And so on that specific day, I looked to the sky and I said, why me? And a voice in my head said, because you have to become your own hero. And so from that day forward, I put everything that I was experiencing out of my own way. And I developed the belief that everything that I was going through was to help somebody one day. And maybe it's you that thinks this is how their life is meant to be. And so what is the purpose of this video? Well, I want to share something really exciting with you, and maybe I'm going to ask you for some help. I am currently writing a book, and it's called The Anxiety Handbook. And what is the purpose of this? Well, one day I thought to myself, about a year ago, we have manuals for cars and appliances and so many things in life, but there's no playbook. There's no handbook about how to deal with things in life that come up that, you just really don't understand. And a lot of these things have to do with relationships, careers, businesses, having children, starting a family, your outside family. Maybe you got diagnosed with a disease. And, there's one unique thing about all of us is that we are all going to have different experiences. But what can shape us uniquely is the beliefs that we create. Our beliefs are the things that drive us. They're the things that allow us to see and view the world in a very specific way. And so how did I get here? Well, I've been, free from any drugs or any antidepressants or anxiety pills for years. And I didn't really take them all that often in the beginning too. Just for the sole purpose that, I knew I wanted to use the tools within me if I could. And I got enough information to know that that was possible. And so I decided to take some alternatives. So here I am sharing the story with you because I'm writing a book. It's called The Anxiety Handbook. It's going to be a play-by-play book of, number one, what anxiety is, what it's not. And then the second part of the book is going to be about why you're experiencing the anxiety the way you are. And a lot of it has to do with, childhood experiences, whether it be trauma related, maybe also a lot of people who have anxiety have very high expectations and standard for themselves, almost to the point where it's perfectionism. And we all know that human beings are imperfect, and to strive for imperfection is almost like setting yourself up for failure, because imperfection is literally the lowest standard or of emotion that you could strive for, because it's impossible to obtain. And so how did that start? Well, maybe at a very young age you developed this perfectionism because you needed to be a certain way to attract love and feel like you were worthy of receiving love from people in your life that you crave the most. And maybe there's also to the other side of the spectrum where you have performance anxiety or obsessive compulsive about always trying to have things done a certain way or for achievement. And maybe it even has to do with relationships. Maybe you're in a relationship where you're not being you. You feel like you're giving a part of yourself away. And a lot of the times it has to do with, who you needed to be to stay out of your way of your parents, to be a good boy, a good girl. Maybe it had to do with school or religion. And there's so many different factors that really create anxiety. I mean, did you grow up in a household where there was a lot of fear, where you had your parents or grandparents or whoever it was that raised you that always looked at problems as the end, not a new beginning? And so you don't even really realize or understand how you got here. And so my job with my book, my mission, my purpose is to retrain that villain in us all. And all that is who are the people of influence in our lives that shape and molded the beliefs of how we view and see problems and also how to handle them. So that's what I'm talking about, the villain in us. That's the part of us that was trained, that was learned, and that is changeable. So I give you the tools, the instruments, the education as to what's happening to you, why it's happening to you. And then I end the book with how you take your power back. And I give you literally strategies and ideas for every single area of your life where you can experience anxiety, whether it's, like I said, in your relationships, money, family, maybe it's driving in a car, getting on an airplane, public speaking, whatever it might be. Is I give you a handbook for every single thing that you will experience in your life, whatever it might be, and how you can handle it and turn it around. And so what I will tell you is this isn't overnight. Nothing worthwhile is, but here's what you need to understand. It takes 21 days to develop a new habit. And so the majority of us, try to lose weight on New Year's and set all these rituals and New Year's resolutions to end up in failure because we're focusing on the to-dos. And for me, what drove me through all the fear, and when I had that bottle of pills in my hand to take the anxiety pills and I didn't, when I thought I was having a heart attack, seizures, all these different things, is I created a belief system that as I push through the obstacles and the challenges, just like if you're going to hit the gym, just like if you're going to pursue that job, just like if you're going to create more love and trust and respect in relationship, that you have to leave everything to a higher purpose and truly believe that life is happening for us, not to us, and that you are not the experience, but rather who you become from the experience. And so I'm going to end that video right here because I want this under 10 minutes. But if you have any comments or ideas of things you'd like me to maybe put in the book, if you are suffering from this or somebody who is, share this. I'd love to have some insight and maybe give some, maybe put some of those things into the book. But I'm going to end on this. If you are going to dream today, guys, dream big. You have one life. And literally, trust me, if you don't trust yourself, you can get control of your mind. You can get control of your anxiety by having a different relationship with yourself and being a little kinder, a little bit more loving and understanding, and maybe learning to treat yourself like you would treat your own children, your partner, or a loved one. Because that is what life is about. And so, keep smiling, keep your head up high, and remember, like I learned in a program that I took from Barry McDonough called DARE, it's a wicked anxiety program. It is always darkest before dawn. Push through your struggles today and keep smiling.